put her energy into her patients. Music, yeah, her faith. That's rare.
She had her PhD in music.
Mm-hmm.
And she went on to become a respiratory therapist. I mean, she did nothing halfway. And I don't know, guys, what do you think? I feel like that lifestyle, even though she was quiet, but her being all alone, it created this opportunity for this psycho to do this to her. What do you guys think?
Especially if they knew, and they did. They found out.
What I'm thinking, was the boyfriend cleared?
Yes. He was never even brought into it. I think he was out of town. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I just felt he had something to do with it.
Yeah. Well, here you go, Blaine. That's yours. I'll pull the banner down so you can read it.
Okay. All right. 48-year-old. Some say 42. Well, I added it up. She was born in 21 and died in 77. That's 48 years. Teresita Basa, a quiet, respectful Filipino respiratory therapist, was found brutally murdered inside her apartment at 2740 North Pine Grove Avenue. Firefighters responded to smoke coming from her unit. When they entered, they found a mattress on top of her body. Her body was partially nude. She had been stabbed once in the chest. The fire had been set deliberately to erase evidence. The apartment showed signs of staged sexual assault, but the autopsy determined she had not been raped. Her clothes had been removed to mislead investigators. Her personal items, including jewelry, were missing. I wonder what else was missing from her house.
Yeah. So here we go, Elliott.
Yeah.
Why did the case go cold? Yeah, for those that haven't met me before, I used to work homicide with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and I did that for 9 out of 15 years. So I have worked cold cases, and I have had cases go cold. In this particular case, though, actually, I was very excited to talk about this case because I wrote about it in my first book with law enforcement, Supernatural Encounters.
Right on.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool that we were talking about this. But there were several reasons why the case went cold. Certainly, the crime scene was destroyed by fire. So they did lose a lot of trace forensic evidence there. Any fingerprints or fibers would have been destroyed. They actually had no eyewitnesses to the suspect at the time. So nobody heard the stabbing. No one saw the accused enter the apartment or leave afterwards. There was no really clear motive because the suspect had staged the homicide scene. So the police walked in and they see an arson, they see a sexual assault, they see a robbery. The place is in shambles. So they were trying to piece together a motive. The staging really kind of threw them off. They did do the forensic autopsy and found out that, like you guys said, she wasn't sexually assaulted. That was something to throw off law enforcement. They also had very limited investigative leads. In fact, the only thing that popped up for the suspect, which would have been later told to us by the psychic spirit possession that we're about to talk about, was that there was a note left saying theater tickets for AS. That was the only piece of kind of evidence that would later link Alan Showery, to this case, besides his confession and finding the jewelry that was taken. So it also kind of threw law enforcement off as well because Alan Showery had no conflicts with Teresita Basa at all. They did know each other from the hospital, but they actually had no issues with one another. And then the police ran out of what we call conventional methods. They interviewed coworkers, talked to neighbors, checked any sort of video footage that would have been available at that time. This is a time before cell phones, so there was no search warrants to get cell phone records and different things that would be available to us now. Like today, you would probably search Showery's computer to see if he had Googled anything, how to dispose of a crime scene or what to do. They didn't have any of that. So they ran through everything that they possibly could. And eventually the case went inactive or cold until a big break happened.
What evidence did they have against that gentleman that gave them the break?
Oh my. So what happened with that is because of the mediumship that happened with Dr. Jose's wife.
Okay.
They were Filipino as well. They ended up making contact with I should say Dr. Jose Chua made contact with the police. His wife, Remy, was having these psychic fits where she would almost become possessed and would spew out information about the murder. And then after a while, Dr. Chua figured that he should notify law enforcement. So he did. He invited them over to his house. They had come over. He was really nervous when he was talking to them, so he made some small chat with them. And then he flat out asked them, "Do you guys believe in ghosts?" And they kind of looked at him like he was crazy. And then he explained to him what was happening and some of the information that his wife had talked about. And it was very specific. During the second possession episode that Remy had, she disclosed that Teresita Basa had told her that Showery had stolen a pearl ring from her and also a necklace. So that was very specific.
Let me show a picture for you. Okay. I got that for you, Elliott. Hold on.
Yeah.
If I could click it there.
Yes. So there's the pearl ring you can see on the left there, and then the necklace on the right. It was very specific jewelry. It was actually custom made. So it's not like you could go to Zales or People's or anything like that and purchase it. It was very, very specific. So that kind of led law enforcement to start looking at Alan Showery because Miss Chua had provided that name, said, "Hey, this is who murdered Teresita Basa. This is what's missing." So they started to look at Showery. They brought him in for an interview. They used typical police interrogation techniques where they get the person to commit to a story. And so he committed to a story. And the one thing that he failed to tell the police is that he was actually, they already knew, but he was supposed to go over and help her fix a television set. But he denied going there. They had also interviewed friends of Teresita Basa who told them that they had someone coming over to repair their TV. So the friends knew someone was coming over. The police figured out that it was Showery that had come over to try and fix a TV, but he denied coming over to her apartment or ever being in there. So then when they confronted him with that lie, his story started to fall apart, and he did actually provide them with a confession. He
confessed to it all.
Yeah, he did. He provided a confession. He wasn't under arrest. They never placed him under arrest at any time. So they did give him the police, in Canada, we call it the police caution. It's you need not say anything because anything you do say may be used as evidence in court.
Like our Fifth Amendment.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a...
So they did provide that to him, but he continued to talk to them. So anything that he said was admissible in court. And he eventually told them that he had gone to the apartment to rob her. And after he had choked her out, he put the carotid choke on her and knocked her out. And then he realized, oh, she knows who I am. She knows I was here. How am I going to get away with this? So he ended up staging that she was sexually assaulted. He removed her clothes. I took a kitchen knife, stabbed her in the chest. I put a mattress over her, and then ransacked the apartment and lit the apartment on fire. So really made like a huge mess of the crime scene there.
Here's a picture of him. Let me pop this up real quick. So that's a picture of her apartment after the fire. Okay. And he's down there. Let me turn the banner off. There. Now you can see him. I do want to point out
a criminal.
Yeah. I do want to put out that Dr. Chua and his wife, Remy, she started working at the hospital a year after Basa was killed. So they did not overlap. It wasn't like just a friend. They just happened to be the same race, the same religion, and they had the same belief system. So she would feel comfortable. Honestly, I feel like she was, in a way, warning her because she was working with this guy.
Yeah, apparently she, Mrs. Chua, Remy Chua, did not get along with Alan Showery. She knew him at the hospital. She didn't like him. So there was kind of some skeptical comments made that maybe perhaps she's blaming the murder on Showery because she doesn't like him. And there was some conflict at work. But obviously throughout the entire case, that wasn't the case. They had some pretty verifiable information. The fact that the jewelry was stolen. In fact, law enforcement went out and interviewed Showery's girlfriend, and they actually asked her. They said, "Hey, did you get any strange gifts from Showery lately?" And she said, "Actually, yeah. In February, shortly after the murder, he gave me 2 pieces of jewelry and told me that they were late Christmas gift presents." And then she produced those pieces of jewelry. And then through all of Teresita Basa's friends, they were able to identify that, yes, that was her ring. Yes, that was her necklace. So that was very damning evidence against Showery.
Wow.
Didn't she answer the door wearing a piece of the jewelry?
She didn't. They actually, she did open the door and they looked at her neck to see if she had the necklace on. But when they went to the house, the initial reason to go to the house was to speak to Alan Showery, but they were aware of the jewelry and they were aware that one piece was a necklace, but they looked at her neck and she was not wearing it at the time.
I had seen one of the, there's so many people that have actually covered this case. I did see where they said she was wearing a piece of the jewelry, but I know.
Yeah, no, not initially, but she did end up telling them about it, and she did end up turning it over. And like I said, a lot of her friends were able to self-identify that yes, that was Mrs. Basa's.
Oh my God, y'all, this is killing me. I'm gonna pop your book up real quick.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
So this is more supernatural encounters from law enforcement by Elliott Van Dusen. There's another one, obviously. That's part.
Yeah, the other one, the one before that, supernatural encounters. That's the one that I wrote about Teresita Basa. Because one of the reasons everyone always asks me, how'd you get into the paranormal? Did you have an experience yourself? And I always credit Unsolved Mysteries. And this case was actually on Unsolved Mysteries. Probably saw it when I was a kid, but because one thing that always interested me about Unsolved Mysteries was the fact that I knew I wanted to be a homicide detective, and they would always show you cold cases on Unsolved Mysteries. Oh, yeah. But then every once in a while, they throw a ghost story or a UFO story in. So this one here had both because it had the paranormal and it was a cold case. So I ended up, writing about it in my book. So, someone's got my book. So,
well, hey, Elliott, you know what's funny? I got a lot of my cases from police officers. They're the best information because they'll go to calls that nothing's there. And I've had one where cops actually found me and said, "Hey, I want you to come look in this building because every time we go up there, the alarm goes off. There's nothing in the building." He said, "You're a ghost guy. See if you can find it." I walked in there. I said, "Well, okay, you got about 4." And his eyes got as big as saucers. He says, "I come in this building every damn night. You're telling me it's 4 ghosts in here?" I said, "That's all I can see at the moment. It's probably more." And he freaked out.
Yeah.
So he would call me before they would go investigate a location. I said, "Y'all better go clear it first, because if I go in there, I'm shooting somebody."
No, it's so true. They do experience a lot, but they don't like to talk about it unless they trust you. So obviously they trusted you. They knew you were into the paranormal. It's the same as me. Oftentimes I was like my fictional hero, Fox Mulder. I'd be ridiculed. Someone would always Google my name. I don't know if it's because I was always solving cases and showing people up, but they'd always Google my name and see that I was involved in the paranormal. And then I instead of get little green men like Mulder was picked on, I get proton packs taped to my locker and different funny things like that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But then, when I retired, and my mother encouraged me to write another book, I said, well, I'm not really sure what I'm going to write about, because my first book was Evil in Exeter, and that was about a house in Exeter, Rhode Island that was very haunted. So I said, well, I could reach out to some law enforcement people that I know and see if they've had any experiences. And next thing I knew, I had over 100 stories and put out those 2 books, which was phenomenal, because they're all mostly stories that we might not have known if the police officers didn't want to disclose that to us. So it's they're a wealth of knowledge. It's just trying to get that information pried from them.
I don't know. They just come up and talk to me. I don't even know who they are, and they'll come up and start talking to me about it. So
that's good. You lucked out.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to stop for just a second and realize that I did not tell you guys about Elliott's bio. So I'm going to make a short one here. Elliott is a former Royal Canadian Mountie Police, and he also worked in homicide, sex crimes, and drug enforcement, and he directs a paranormal phenomena research and investigation, blending law enforcement precision with deep parapsychology training. He's studied parapsychology from institutions around the world, from the Rhine Center, from St. Mary's University. He has his Bachelor of Arts degree in criminology from there, and he served for 15 years with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. And then after that, he has his diploma in parapsychology from Stratford Career Institute, a doctorate's degree in parapsychology from the American International University, and then he's taken additional classes from Nova Scotia Community College, University of Edinburgh's Kostler Parapsychology Unit, and then the Rhine Education Center, and the University of Ottawa. And he's currently working on his Master of Arts in Counseling Psychology degree from Yorkville University. He's also been featured in Discovery Channel, The Globe, and Mail, the Daily News, the Chronicle Herald, and several podcasts and radio stations. And he was featured on the show that we met on, Repossessed, that was on Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was also Repossessed, where I got to meet Lee. And
yeah, we had a great time. That was awesome. And that picture was unbelievable. And it had the symbols up under. We would have never seen it if we hadn't just been in a certain light. It's really,
now, you need to show everybody the picture, because everybody can't picture it in their head like you can.
Yeah. It's a painting.
I'll see.
It's actually a painting.
If you guys can see on my screen there on the wall, the red painting on the wall.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the one that was on the show. And like Lee said, in Repossessed, when it hit a certain light, I think Mo might have shined a flashlight on the back of it. There was an entirely different picture than what's painted on there, which I didn't even know. That happened like live on camera while they were filming. Yeah, it kind of took me for a little surprise. But very interesting.
You know, sometimes people will sketch out with a pencil what they want the painting to look like. And then later they'll go back and paint, but you can turn it around and still see.
Yeah.
This was nothing like that.
The only other thing I can think of too is that she had another scene that she was thinking about doing and then just totally scrapped it, because
that happens a lot.
Yeah, she could have reused the canvas, but it was still cool nonetheless.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There was just a lot of symbols inside of there that created a lot. So
how old is the painting? Because I cannot remember every detail. How old is it?
It wasn't that old, actually. I think I came into possession of it in, I want to say it was like around 2002 or 2022 maybe.
Okay.
It was shortly. I had received it just before we filmed for the show. Really, wasn't that? What's the painting? I missed it. Oh, Nathaniel, it was a painting called "When One Door Closes." A lady from Calgary, Alberta, had painted it, and whenever she's going through a hard time in her life, she likes to paint things. So she had just beaten her addiction and had painted this beautiful red painting. I thought it was gorgeous. She went on one of those like paranormal kind of Facebook groups, and she said that she was having trouble with the painting and wanted to know what to do with it. She was talking about disposing it, and she thinks it might be haunted. So I reached out to her and I said, well, what's happening? And she explained it, and it kept falling off the wall, kept like being thrown off the wall. In fact, once it hit her husband. So I said, okay, so that's interesting. You know, I said, I'll pay to have it shipped here if you're looking to get rid of it. And I explained to her about if there's attachments to it. And, you know, I obviously run a paranormal research organization, so we keep it here safe in the office and can keep an eye on it. So she did, but even through the process of trying to ship it to me, she had gone to Staples to get some packaging material. She was almost T-boned. She got the material, packaged it up, left it in the van for the night at her mom's house. When she went out to the van the next morning, somebody had tried to break into the van and rip the door handle right off the van. She sent me a photograph of that. Then while she was at Canada Post, she was trying to ask me how I wanted it sent. And, you know, like they've got like overnight for like $3,000. And then, you know,
Yeah.
2 days later, you know, $50. And so anyway, I said, just send it economy. Like, that's okay. But as she was trying to text it to me, her phone kept glitching out and resetting. And she ended up having to call me because it's almost like something was preventing her from communicating with me. So then I received it, and I haven't had any issues with it at all.
No.
It's been hanging in my office. I think it was person-centered.
Yes.
Elliott, I was about to say the same thing. That was the reason it fought it. The spirit that was attached, that painting is attached to that person you got it from.
Yeah.
Once you got it, the spirit's still with the lady. I can tell you that now. It hasn't moved. It went to another object.
Yeah, I think so too, Blaine. I think it was a person-centered phenomena, not so much the item itself.
Yeah, and it was the entity was attached to her. It even helped her paint the painting because it wanted that satisfaction of expressing, I'll say it now, his view. Okay, because it was a male. It's still a male spirit. Okay. If you like, I'll tell you what his name is.
Go for it. Yeah.
His name is Ronaldi Ephraim. He's coming through real strong to me right now.
Ronaldi Ephraim. Okay.
And he attached himself to her. He liked her energy. And when she was going to get rid of the painting, it made him mad because he felt like he was slighted because she was giving away something that was he helped create. It bruised his ego. And he's still pissed about it. But he won't do anything to you because he's not attached to you or that painting anymore. Once he got put in the envelope and left, he left the painting. And now he's probably sitting in a lamp or a bed, something in the bedroom, but he's still there.
You know, that's interesting. I should reach out to her and see if she's experienced anything in her home. Not that I'm looking for any casework. We seem to be swamped as it is. I thought after September, October, things would slow down for us, but it's been pretty steady.
Elliott, they never do.
No,
me and Lee get calls every day on cases around the world. So
yeah, we do. So I was thinking that she may have, what I was trying to say during the show, in the process of painting the portrait, I often wondered if there was a talismanic haunting where it's very similar to automatic writing. Okay.
Yeah.
That I felt like maybe she had been guided either by the spirit or by it could be a past life even, but memory, you know, and with her having so many problems that she had personally, I feel like she created something here. And it was as she was trying to get rid of it, you know, expressing it, pushing it through, keeping it attached to her. Very it picked up
automatic. It picked up on her when she was having her issues.
Because that is a topomatic type of haunting.
Oh yeah.
So That's what I always thought. It could have been multiple things for that matter,
Mhm.
but trauma infusion is definitely something that all hauntings, there's something about the trauma, violent death, extreme emotional events that create a haunting anyway.
Okay,
And
I'll
that's
give you,
right.
I'll give you a little bit more too. The reason he chose her because he went through the same issue she did with the addictions, and he got himself off the addiction, so he lapped onto her because he wanted to help her get through her addiction as well, like he had been done to him, because his addiction actually ended up killing him when he was trying to come off, when he was trying to make himself right. And so he was helping her to make sure that she got through her issues and helped her paint that painting. Like I said, he was very upset when she was giving it to you because that's something he helped her to paint,
create,
help her create, and it helped her with her healing as well.
Yeah, everything you say, I can relate to for sure, and like Lee said too, the with the trauma, we know that a lot of paranormal phenomena does have trauma linked to it, especially poltergeist type cases, which, like I said,
She was a victim too. She was a victim. She was working through that trauma, and that created the addiction because she was
okay. This is something else. I'm sorry, I'm giving y'all more and more, but they're giving me more stuff right now. He is not trying to harm her or anything. He right now is a protector of her. He is more like I'm not going to say a spirit guide because he's not a spirit guide yet.
Right.
But he is one of her protectors, and he is there to help her keep her sobriety.
He's like an unofficial guardian angel for her, kind of watching.
I like that.
Her. Yeah.
That's
like
exactly what it is. That is exactly what he is. Yeah.
Oh Lord, I need about
but he's
1,000
working
of
his way up
those
to
right
be a spirit
now.
guide.
Oh,
Lee,
I finally
ours
got
is sitting there. Ours is sitting there looking like this, going, "Oh God."
Well, that's that's very interesting, Blaine. I appreciate you sharing that information.
I finally have all your
No
books.
problem, man.
Okay?
I'll tell you.
That was on Amazon. Here's the first one that I did not put up. Let me turn the banner off so you can see.
Yeah, that's the one with Teresita Basa in it.
Okay.
So everybody watching, go order it. Here's the second one.
They do make great Christmas gifts.
Yes, they do. And I've got a few of those
Plug
too,
it.
folks. Okay, and then here's this one, Evil in
Exeter, yeah.
Exeter.
Yeah, that was the first book I wrote. It was a pretty wild investigation that I did at a private house in Exeter, Rhode Island. I struggle with calling it a demon case, but if you look at the demonology literature, it certainly matched that. I think it's my social science background in parapsychology that makes me want to fight that term, but it was something very, very evil.
We'll just call a malevolent spirit because a lot of those.
I haven't encountered anything like that case since then.
We'll have to talk about it. We'll have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to know more. Now you got me all intrigued.
Get me back on the show on time, and we'll talk about that one too. I could probably take the whole hour talking about that one.
That sounds great.
I love to hear it because I like to hear other people's experiences with malevolent spirits and see what kind of similarities we have. Because I've had some that will come out and talk in a demonic voice, and I see the real them. And I'll tell them, okay, now can you talk in your big boy voice? And I've had two brothers that were spirits. They were just nasty little sons of bitches.
Yeah.
They were mean to their mother. They were mean to their brothers and sisters, the rest of them. And what got them to calm down was their actual mother coming up and slapping a knot upside both of them's head.
Whack.
That was a funny thing. When a spirit's a spirit's mama comes in there and sets him straight. I'm 60 years old and my mother was still here. I'd hear her voice and I'd be like, "Yes, ma'am." That's what they did.
And you know how little my little Filipino mom, is. And
I'm just glad she loved me.
She loves you. Mama passed last year. And that's why this case was so personal to me, because something about Basa reminds me a bit of Mom. But it's not just Basa. it's also Remy, because mom had those gifts.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I find it very intriguing of how the Catholicism in the Philippines has also embraced part of the original religion of the islands.
Yeah.
So
It's no
it's
different than with Latin America with sangria or
uh-huh.
voodoo, because they combine both Catholicism and natural stuff. No different
Right.
than what the Romans did when they started Christianity. They incorporated a bunch of pagan beliefs in the system to keep people together. So yeah, it's been going on for millennia.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this case too is I don't know if Mrs. Chua had any other psychic experiences after this case. There's not a whole lot of information out there about her. Same with Showery. He did end up so he did go to court. There was a mistrial, but the defense told him that the Crown, or we call them the Crown up here, but the prosecution down there, the prosecution was going to try it a second time, and his defense lawyer told him that he probably would not survive a second trial. So they decided to plead guilty before the prosecution decided to take it to trial for a second time. So he did go to jail. He did serve his time. And then I know after that, he did go to California to stay with some family for a little while. And then he went back to Chicago. And the last we heard about him was sometime in the early 2000s. He was in New York City at some point. And then after that, he drops off the face of the earth. But I'd be curious to see if Mrs. Chua had any other experiences, because this was a big one. It was basically a form of spirit possession. Because she had all the symptoms of it. Even when she would come out of the trance, she wouldn't remember what she said. She wouldn't remember going into the trance. It was all based on her having Mrs. Basa possess her, and then she relays the information to Dr. Chua. And then the third possession that happened is when they approached the police and told them all the information that was happening. So,
yeah.
You know what's funny, Elliott? The reason she didn't remember, it was not meant for her. Lee taught me this a long time ago. It was meant for her to tell Teresa's story. And that's what she did. And when she told it, she was done with it. Because it wasn't meant for her at all. It was meant for her to get justice for Teresa.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting case. It hasn't been really disproven from a paranormal standpoint. It is actually a very strong case, and it's still referenced quite a bit in parapsychology and criminology, really, because the judge, at the time when he was listening to this, there was no other cases like that in the state of Illinois where basically the police are relying on psychic information to make an arrest and run a prosecution. This was like one of the first cases that Illinois dealt with this case. So it's a very, very interesting case.
Yeah, it is.
It is very interesting.
Check this out. I got this quick slide. Okay, so this is when Teresita's stolen jewelry was retrieved. And if Remy if she had been fabricating the story, she would have needed inside knowledge, which she did have. But Remy and her husband barely knew Showery. They did not know what jewelry Teresita was missing. They did not know who Showery was dating. They did not know, and she produced a name. Okay. They did not know he had financial problems. They did not know he had been in Teresita's apartment that day. And from that, the detective said someone told them the truth, even if this explanation makes no sense.
Yeah.
So that was the words from the police.
The evidence, the big evidence in this was the jewelry. That was absolutely devastating to Showery, just because the pearl ring and the necklace were so unique and they were custom made. And the fact that they were found in possession of his girlfriend, Yanka. So that really did a number on him. He also, like we said, confessed to it. and had tried to give an alibi, which fell apart because he said that, he didn't go fix her TV when he actually did. His girlfriend also said that he doesn't know how to fix electronics, so it made no sense that he would go over there to fix her TV. The fact that, again, if they had run a second trial, he was most likely going to be found guilty the second time. So discussion with his lawyer led to him pleading guilty and getting a bit of a lighter sentence. But certainly this case all hinges, if you look back at it, it does hinge on the spirit possession of
Interesting.
Of the information coming out. Yeah.
What did it do? Play down to manslaughter?
No, here we go.
It
Here
was.
it is for you.
There you go.
Yeah, 14 years for murder. He had additional time for robbery and arson. His total sentence was described as 14 to 22 years.
Wow.
But the murder charge itself was 14. He was paroled in 83, and if you do the math, he only served 4 years, y'all.
Gotta love Illinois justice.
That burns my butt. That burns
It's
me.
funny. A drug dealer gets more time than somebody that murdered somebody. So they gave him 4 years, probably gave him awful good behavior. And since there are a bunch of dumbasses in Illinois anyway, my wife's in there, so I can say that.
Don't hold back, Blaine.
No, don't hold that shit off.
Especially in Chicago. I mean, sorry, you murder somebody, 14 years ain't enough. And then you will give them a 4-year sentence and let them go and let them, No, they should have let his ass rot in jail. He should have become somebody's prison bitch the second day he was there.
Thank you. That's why I wanted you to.
It's shocking that, that he got out or that he made it out alive too. A lot of them don't make it out of jail because they obviously have their own altercations in there. But very sad case because, like you said, it sounds like Mrs. Basa was just a very hard-working newcomer to America. She had come to America to restart her life, make a better life for herself, and it's tragic. And he did confess that he needed rent money. The rent was due. He lived about half a mile from where Teresita Basa lived. He was living with his girlfriend, and the rent was due, and he needed rent money. And the sad thing is I think he walked away from her place with $30 cash and those 2 pieces of jewelry. It's almost like a very stupid murder because obviously there was other valuables still left there that he could have taken. He made an absolute mess of the apartment building, and it is an apartment building, so it probably affected other residents as well. The reason why the police were called is because people smelled smoke. So the fire department went there, and of course, there was probably smoke damage, water damage. This guy, I'm surprised he wasn't punished harder.
Like I said, I wish he'd have got him been somebody's prison bitch about the second day he was there, and then made him feel like shit for killing an older lady,
Yeah.
For $30.
Would you like to see the newspaper clippings?
Yeah, sure. Throw it up. The sad thing is that when she wrote that note, theater tickets for AS, that was her way of thanking him for coming over to fix her TV. Like, it's just awful. Like, she actually went out and purchased theater tickets for you in anticipation you're coming over to fix her TV, when in reality, you're going over there to rob her, and then that leads into murdering her. Like, it's just sickening.
Yeah, it is sickening. It's making my stomach just turn right now.
Yeah, people like that are predators, and
I'm thankful he didn't rape her.
No, he didn't.
That has set me way over. Let's talk a bit about Alan Showery. Okay, I got a slide for you. Initially, he denied everything. Once confronted with the jewelry, the timeline, the motive, and the TV repair appointment, he broke down, said, "Yes, I did it."
Yeah.
If the possession had been a lie, coincidence, or delusion, it would not have matched evidence exactly. It was perfect. And here's another quote from the police. We acted on information provided to us. That information turned out to be correct. Okay.
Yeah. The detective too, the main detective on the case, it was Joe Stahula. He actually was quoted as well. I had it in my book. He expressed skepticism about the mediumship of Remy Chua, but he was quoted as saying, "Nonetheless, everything here is completely true."
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He got believed.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Not only did he got called out, but it scared the stuffing out of him, because here we go. After prison, Alan Showery did not build a new life. He hid his life. I used AI to try to build a psychological profile, and based off of this case, and it said that he was avoidant, he had low empathy. He was an offender with low empathy who feared exposure more than he feared justice. He slipped into the cracks of society, changing addresses. He moved to New York, by the way.
Yeah, I see you got that in there. That's perfect. Yeah, because I know when he got paroled, he did go to California with family for a little bit. And then he did make his way back to Chicago. And then the last known location for him was New York. And I noticed you had on there too, possibly changed his name or, lived quietly, which I think is completely right. I would say that.
Good.
I'd say that if he is still alive, he's definitely flying under the radar today. Yeah.
Well, I knew you had covered this one, and so I wanted to make sure I had as many details as possible, because I just didn't know. It's our first time doing something like this together, so I wanted it to be right. But
it was great, yeah. And like you said, I think you're right. I think his personality, I don't think that he would like that kind of exposure. So he probably, does live a very quiet life after this. And just look at how disgusted we are. So if anyone, Googled him and found out what he did to this poor lady, he's not going to be welcome with open arms, So.
Yeah. And what would happen if he met a woman and she demanded total transparency and the truth? He told her for $33 and a couple pieces of jewelry he gave to his girlfriend.
Well, that's just it.
Those are trophies.
Can you really trust this guy? Like he murdered somebody for $30 and 2 pieces of jewelry.
And this woman that cared about him. Yeah. He had been her handyman because she was in her 40s, never married, here by herself. He was a guy from work, needed the extra money. She thought she was helping him, and she ended up being a victim. I hope he died miserably. I hope nobody, grieved for him. I hope nobody claimed his body. Nothing but ugly stuff for that guy, because
I'm hoping a crackhead shanked him in New York.
You never know.
Yeah.
I looked and I looked. I looked and I looked. I couldn't find it. And I tried to spell his name different ways. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, no, it's I didn't find anything that confirmed that he's deceased or anything yet either. But it is possible. But there's not much on him. He kind of just disappeared after, he did his time. At least he didn't go out and do it again.
That we know of. That we know of. Yeah. Because they did it once, they might go try to do it again. He might be desperate again and go try to rob somebody and kill them too. You never know.
I would say this is one of the only homicide cases in North America, policing history really, in which information was obtained through a paranormal experience that directly led to verifiable physical evidence in a confession. We're always, whenever we have a medium on a case, we're always hoping that they can give us something that we can corroborate. And it doesn't happen a lot of times. You can't. But I have a medium in my organization, Jody, and she's been really good. There's been cases where she's given us information and we can't corroborate it, but there's also been cases where she's told us that there's a male. He died of a heart attack. He lived at this address. He died at this address. And sure enough, we start digging through archives and boom, find the death certificate, which confirms all that. She's had some amazing hits, but this case here, like I said, it did go legitimately cold. And because of that spirit possession with Dr. Chua's wife, that is the whole reason why this case got broken open, was the paranormal.
So I went on Ancestry to try to find this guy, okay? Because I have been looking and looking.
Yeah.
I went on Ancestry, and you know how, oops, sorry, I kicked my laptop. All these records indicate that, no birth date for him. None of the archives of the trial. Well, Ancestry has him March the 25th, 1946. He was born in New York City, and he died in Brooklyn in 1995.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, and his parents were listed under a different surname. So, not sure what to make of that. His mother was Shirley Henry. Father was Ernest Cambridge. But his name is spelled the same. I'm trying to find out what he died from. I am so excited. I don't know why I decided to go to Ancestry, but here I am.
You think
All
he
over
lived?
here is shanked in the face.
That would be
Yeah.
cool. Do you think he lived under another name
I'm sure he did.
most of the time?
Well, I
think he had
guarantee you the reason his parents had different names is they came over here and tried to give themselves more Americanized names,
Oh yeah.
which is very common in New York.
Well, he didn't. He was born here. He's born in New York. She was the one that came over. Doggone it. I'm trying to. It's not going to let me. It's not going to let me. But I guess I could. I bet you I could look and look up his parents now, and maybe I could get a docket or something. I don't know. I'm gonna keep trying.
really,
If I find it, I'll look. I'll tell you if I find it.
that's really interesting that that you found that through Ancestry.
He was 32 when he did the deed, so he had to live, 3/4 of his life dealing with it. Yeah. Dealing with what he did and not having a life.
Well, hopefully he's paying his dues now then.
Oh,
Yeah,
he is. Oh, yeah. He's not having a fun time where he's at. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, that's
Permanent torture.
So what do you have coming up now? We have talked about poor Miss Teresa Basa. Teresita. I want to call her Teresa because it's spelled so close.
Yeah. It is.
So what do you have coming up, Elliott? I know you have paracons and things. We haven't find out more about you. So
yeah, we've got a couple of investigations on the go. So my investigators are tied up with those. We have a webinar coming up Thursday. We're going to start doing a once a month webinar through PPRI, just another way to kind of reach out to the public. It's pretty low cost. We're asking just for a $5 fee, and you can make a donation to PPRI as well. And that's just to help us pay to use the webinar software. Again, we're a nonprofit organization, so we try and get all our bills covered through fundraising. And so on Thursday, December 18th, I have a friend of mine, Lee Hatfield, is going to talk to us. He's from the United Kingdom, and he's going to talk to us about Christmas ghosts because over in the United Kingdom, it's kind of a Christmas tradition to talk about ghost lore.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about some of that, and so I do have that one coming up. We're also planning our 2026 Halifax Paranormal Symposium. This will be the 4th year for it. I started it 4 years ago already.
hard to believe it's been 4 years. I can't believe it.
Yeah. So we're starting to plan that. We are expanding this year to 2 days. So initially it was 1 full day. But now this year it is going to be 2 full days, and that's going to be held again in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, for anyone listening. And it's going to be October 16th to the 18th.
It's around my birthday.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
perfect time. Yeah.
October 20th. So that's interesting.
Yeah. It'll. I think it'll be great. Like I said, each year we bring in different guest speakers. We bring in different topics. we've had demonology, we've had psychokinesis, we've had ghosts and hauntings, we had Ouija boards, we had electronic voice phenomena, Bigfoot, cryptozoology. So this year we're looking at doing a whole bunch of different topics, and I'm just in the process of waiting to hear back from our guest speakers that we reached out to. So if you follow my website, ppri.net, that has all the details on there for everything, to get in touch with me, get in touch with anyone from my organization. We're always doing something, whether it's investigation, research, or education. Those are our 3 priorities.
Right on.
Yes.
I keep thinking about our girl here, Teresita, and he killed her to keep her quiet, but yet she had the last word, right?
No.
Oh, she did.
She had the last word, and she had an impact on him for the rest of his life, and I hope he's having to deal with it. I hope she's able to confront him.
Lee,
I like how you worded it earlier, Lee, like how much like of a strong woman she was. Like, she was so strong that she like possessed one of her coworkers and got her story out. That's how strong this woman was. And
Yeah, she was.
I think that's awesome. Like,
my hashtag for tonight is witness possessed.
You got it, Lee? You got that?
Witness possessed.
Yep.
Oh, I love that, Blaine.
Yeah. I think it's fantastic.
And I hate that the lady died, because I have a strong love for Filipino people, because they've always been very nice to me and always treated me like I was family, fed me, make sure. I served in the military with a whole lot of Filipinos, and I've never had a bad experience with a Filipino person ever in my life.
Oh, they're always so friendly. They're always so chipper. We have a lot of them in Sydney, where I live here, Sydney, Nova Scotia. And they're always so friendly. They're always so chipper. We got invited to Meadow. My daughter, she's 5, had a birthday party, and it was a Filipino family, and they made a bunch of like Filipino dishes. I don't even know what I was eating, but it was
so good.
Oh, all of it. I was eating these like deep fried rolls and like
lumpia,
all this stuff.
Yep.
Oh,
it was amazing.
Oh, dude, I don't even know how bad I miss Filipino food, because I can't eat really any food right now. I would kill somebody for some lumpia or some chicken adobe right now. Oh my God.
Yeah, there was a chicken dish. I wonder if that's what it was. There was a chicken dish there. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't even know what I was eating, but it was unreal.
Goodness.
It's crazy.
All right.
So what we got coming up next week, Lee?
I got you right now. I'm creating the banner for it.
Oh.
Are you going to be able to join us, Elliott?
Monday?
I might be able to. Yeah, I might be able to.
All right. So this is it again with the ghost that solved its own murder. It's the true story of, wait a minute, it's going to go away. Let me fix it. Okay. The true story of Frederick Fisher, Fisher's ghost. This happened in South Wales. Australia.
Oh, wow.
Why he's in Australia. Wait, it went away. I told you it was going to go away. Anyway, he boo-booed and got sent to Australia for writing bad banknotes.
When it was still a prison colony. Okay.
Yeah. And after that, he's over there and he disappeared. And people trying to figure out what happened. But then all of a sudden, a man came into a bar. Sounds like a joke, right? He came into a bar, but he was very shaken, and people were like, "Dude, what's wrong with you?" And then it hit the fan. So join us next week.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
It is.
That'll be a good one.
It will.
And it's a lot older than the Basa case too. So
no.
Yeah.
Did you cover that one in your book?
No, I didn't actually. No, I'll have to do some research on it after the show. Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny? Everybody in Australia, the ancestor was a criminal.
I know. That's funny. Australia started out as a penal colony, and now look at it.
He said penal. He said penal. No, I'm joking. I'm being silly.
So crazy.
We try to keep this a little friendly, but yet we talk about what's going on.
Elliott, I hope you had a
Okay.
great time, man, and I hope
I do
you
too.
come back
Oh, I
again,
did.
man.
No, I was very happy that Lee reached out to me to come on to the show, guys. I will look at trying to come on next Monday as well, because I'll be curious now. Now you got me roped into another rabbit hole.
I have you hooked on there, man.
I have to research
Yeah.
this case now on top of the million other stuff I have on the go. But yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's always great to catch up with you guys, and thanks for having me.
Well,
Well,
next week,
Thank you for coming.
sorry, Blaine, excuse me.
Sorry, no, I was just gonna say thank y'all for letting me come back tonight. It was very uplifting for me tonight because I have been, fighting this damn cancer. I'm still not healed. Cancer's gone, but now it's just a healing process. So this was like really good for my morale. And it was fun because I love doing the show, and I haven't got to talk to inexperienced in a while, and they come through like crazy tonight on this show. So I felt
That
good.
was nice. That was
Well,
nice.
that's good, Blaine. I'm happy to hear that everything's going good for you. And yeah, I'm glad that you chose tonight to come on to the show, because I haven't seen you or talked to you in a while. So
I know, since you was on a show, God,
It
it
was-
a year or so ago, maybe two.
At least a year or two ago. Yeah.
So what I was going to say, Family Spirit LLC, which is doing business as, with All Access Network, we're doing a workshop that's free, and it's about angels and demons, and I'm about to post it. And so let your people know. We're going to, I'm going to be talking about angels and demons. I've got some guest speakers. It's going to be for 2 hours, and the date will be provided, and it's like my way of giving a Christmas present. I've done this before, and people love it, and so we're gonna bring it back up again and talk.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for your post, and I can let all my former demonology students know, and they may be interested in attending.
Yeah, that'd be great. And please let Gwen know, let Blaine know, let us know how we can help you. We're gonna monetize and do different things for All Access Network, but we do what we do for people that need us.
Awesome.
I really do.
Yeah. So that's all, no cost with our family, our para family.
Para family. And hey, Blaine, at least you felt good enough to give me crap. So I know you're getting better.
I know, huh?
Yes.
See, if I don't give Gwen crap, she thinks I don't love her no more. So
there you go.
I think you're very sick, and it makes me very depressed and just sad. Ask Lee. I lost it one day, and I was like,
"Oh, it was horrible."
So
yeah, she really did.
I did, because if he's not giving me crap, Elliott, then he's not feeling good at all.
Not feeling well. Yep. No, people, right? Yeah. Once you get to know them, you know them. So, yeah.
Blaine, it's good to see you on. Guys, I have yet another show, because that's how it is. So
you go Paraho, get you some.
Yeah, but guys, if you are interested, Raven Wolf and Christopher Brown, let me use his whole name. They have Carl and Keith Johnson on tonight.
Oh yes,
that'll be
the twin demonologists.
Yeah, and they're very knowledgeable. And I like having them on every once in a while, so we got them on, and that'll be at 9:30 Eastern, and you figure it out about the other time, because I'm in Central right now, so my brain's spinning. So,
all right, so I'm going to go ahead and end the show, so you can say goodbye to Gwen. Yes. Ready? Three paragraphs, super quick. Justice doesn't always walk on 2 feet. Sometimes it drags chains. Sometimes it whispers in the living ear, and sometimes it steps out of the shadows to show exactly where the truth lies. We do not celebrate murderers here. We honor the victims, the one who fought back from the other side. And we thank you for joining us in this cold, haunted corner of true crime until the next descent into the unexplained this coming Monday. Stay curious, stay cautious, and listen to voices that justice could not silence.
Awesome.